Welcome to the Body Smart Podcast, where we remove roadblocks to fitness and health to empower you to master your health habits. We help you become body smart.
Genessey everybody, and welcome to the Body Smart Vodcast. We're going to do a little bit of a shorter episode today, but super excited to have a special guest, Jody Genessy.
That's right.
From the Deseret News, right? And
Yes.
So he is a sports reporter. He covers the Jazz and the Cougars and the Utes and whoever, like whatever sports he can. So pretty cool stuff. Excited to have him in today. Wanted to talk, we just did a metabolic test with him because he's kind of transitioning into more of a fitness phase of a long-term kind of get your life back plan, right?
Right.
And so he has lost an incredible amount of weight, done an amazing thing to really change his lifestyle, and retool everything. So 155 pounds is what he's lost so far. What an amazing thing. That takes a huge amount of drive.
Thank
so
you.
tell us a little bit more about your journey and your experience.
Yeah, so like I weighed 374 and
Wow.
I'm only with these shoes on, I'm going to say I'm 5'8".
Right.
So there was a whole lot of Jody to love.
Sure.
And I used to travel a lot for the Jazz, and on one particular trip I was on an airplane, a small airplane, and I was kind of in this cycle of I need to lose weight, I need to change. My dad died when he was age 57 of health-related, diabetes, and he was overweight. So I knew something had to change. And I was on this plane, and I was sitting next to this guy who was a normal-sized guy, and I was like spilling into his side, and I was in the aisle, and I'm like leaning away from him. And I thought, you just need to write what it's like being the fat guy on the plane. Just so you're cognizant, you're aware of where you're at and how it feels and how it's affecting you. And long story short, basically I wrote this blog about being the fat guy on the plane. It was miserable, I was leaning away and spilling everywhere, and really that reflected my life. I was just miserable. Like I joked that I felt like a sumo wrestler doing a gymnastics routine, just trying to tie my shoes. Rolling over in bed was hard. Using the restroom was hard. Everything was hard. And so I had to change, and I had this great desire. At that moment, finally, I found the motivation. I posted that blog, kind of blew up, and I knew I had to change. And
that's awesome.
Thank goodness I changed my nutrition habits, and here we are,
Yeah, definitely.
155 pounds lighter.
Well, that's amazing. What a cool journey. And the way you own that, this is where I'm at. And you kind of had to admit to yourself, right, that this is where I'm at, and I've got to make a change. How was that emotionally to kind of bear that? Obviously, that post blew up. How was that to digest all of that?
Yeah, well, it's painful. When you really look at yourself, and you're looking in the mirror. A lot of times we just look in the mirror and we look at our face.
Right.
But now I'm not just looking in the mirror. I'm looking at my soul and looking at who I am. The whole I'm naked now. And that's not kind of metaphorically.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm this is where I am, and this is where I need to be. And so I'm down here in I want to get to the top of Mount Everest.
Right.
And so that's kind of overwhelming, but it was freeing in a sense that, I finally had a little bit of hope. Okay, here we go. I'm going to tackle this again.
That's
because
awesome.
I'd kind of given up hope. And
right.
I thought, I got to keep on going, or it's not going to end well.
Right. Well, and you mentioned earlier, that wasn't your first attempt at losing weight. You'd kind of done the yo-yo many times.
Sure.
So many people have tried, and then, it just backfires for whatever reason, and life gets in the way for so many different reasons.
And food tastes good.
And food, that's one of the biggest ones, right? Food is good. And so much of what we think of as food, or so much of what is out there is food, isn't great for us, but tastes amazing, right? And so it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to fight that every single day, and we eventually kind of wear down. So what has kept you from wearing down? What's kept you on this journey this time?
No, that's a great question. And so one of the things I did in this process, I knew I wanted to change. I knew I had a huge goal. I couldn't, they say, how do you eat an elephant with ketchup? Oh, no, one bite at a time. So here I have this huge goal, and I knew I needed something to kind of push me and to drive me. And just fixing a problem isn't enough to get long-lasting results. And so I actually had this huge beard, my inner turmoil was coming out. You could tell I was a man that was pained. I went through and I wrote down a list of my whys, my motivation, and I have a
awesome.
YouTube video about it.
That's cool.
And so I wrote down like 50 different things that I wanted to change. I want to inspire people. Like that was really one of my motivating factors. I don't want other people to suffer like I have.
Yeah.
I want to be there for my kids. I want to get back into triathlons. I want to be, just a normal size and healthy, blah, blah, blah. And so I wrote down all these lists, these factors, these whys.
Yeah.
And I shaved my beard like one stroke at a time and it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of.
No.
But it was really like motivating. I connected with my whys, and that's really pushing me. I see visions of where I want to be.
Yeah.
And that's where I just keep pushing. Like people talk about vision boards and stuff like that, and some people think it's hokey, but I totally believe whether you're looking at the picture on the wall of your face cut out on a thin body, or you're envisioning. I still have like this vision of me at my goal weight, speaking to audiences and inspiring people. And
I love that.
Drives me.
No, and I think that's important to have kind of that overarching goal, and that's going to be different for every person. But I think vision boards or, kind of whatever it takes for you to be motivated as an individual is super critical because we have to find our why. I love that mindset of like, what's going to motivate me? Because if I'm doing it for weight loss, if I'm doing it for looking better or, some of those aesthetic reasons, it just doesn't work the same way as having like that greater motivation and writing a list of your whys and writing a list of what you want to be able to do, kind of your bucket list of sorts of like what I want to accomplish. I think those are super critical like mental steps to take. So I love that. I love that you've done that. And I love that one of your goals is to inspire other people. And you probably have seen a lot of that as you've documented your journey and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a blabbermouth. I'm like all over social media about like my journey, and it kind of drives some people nuts. But I was talking to a friend the other day, a guy that I've met on Twitter, and he was telling me, hey, my little brother who's 16 years old, and I'd never chatted with this guy before, but he followed me on Twitter, loves the jazz, thought I was goofy, but liked my tweets. He said, my brother has been inspired by you, and he's lost 80 pounds.
That's
and
awesome.
It's changed his whole life. He's more confident, he's more outgoing.
Oh, for sure.
Here's a teenager that I've never met before, that this morbidly obese guy who was blabbing about changing his life. I've helped somebody. That's amazingly
That's
rewarding.
huge. That's
I know
huge.
you probably feel that all the time in your
profession. It is fun when you have somebody come in and they kind of spill their soul and tell about their journey and that you were a part of that. It really is that is a rewarding thing. What a neat thing. 80-pound weight loss that you helped to inspire, and obviously he did the work, but that you were even a part of that and could help inspire that is huge. That's a great reward for you and a great motivator to keep going, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
What a neat thing. And so super excited to have Jody here with us today. How do people find you? How do people find your blog and your Twitter and all that stuff?
So I'm on Twitter at DJ Jazzy Jody with the Y. You can go to my blog, Jody Genessy, JodyGenessy.com.
Perfect.
I'm on Facebook. You can read me in the desert. I'm everywhere. So
that's awesome.
I love this journey. It's been, and I actually came into you because, so I've lost 155 pounds and I'm I'm skinny, but I'm only 75% of the way there to my goal weight. And now I'm okay, now let's start getting some of the fitness in. My health is in a good direction, but we're not there yet. So I needed some more help to
definitely
keep pushing forward.
Well, and that's a critical kind of transition and an important transition for long-term maintenance, as well as I imagine a lot of your goals are based on activities and things that you want to do. And so to kind of get that fitness piece back so that you're physically capable of doing all those things is really important. And that's one of the things that I like to do is be that bridge from kind of the medical world into the fitness world of how do we help you go from unfit and maybe unwell towards a healthy, active lifestyle. And that's a different journey for every person, but a super critical piece of it, that we do so in a healthy way that doesn't increase our risk for injury, because that's going to be the thing that derails us the very most from our fitness goals and fitness plans is kind of that unhealthy pattern or pushing it too hard too early and not allowing ourselves to make those physical transitions. So that's awesome that you're taking that step, and I'm really excited to be, a sliver of that journey for you.
No, I appreciate it. You had just mentioned getting more active and playing sport. That's one of one of the things that pushed me as well. So I'm a sports writer. I watch sports. I'm kind of on the sideline. A lot of us are in the sideline. I felt like I was on the sideline of life, and like everything was happening out there on the court, and I was watching it, and I enjoyed that perspective. But you get to a point where I used to play tennis and basketball and baseball. So I was really active, and I want to be like, I'm 46, so I'm getting a little old, but I want to live again.
Yeah.
And so that's
so
I want to
understandable.
play again. I want to play sports with my kids and eventually the grandkids, and just enjoy life and be on the court of life instead of on the sideline. I keep laughing. Sorry.
No. That's awesome. That's exactly right, though. That not living on the sideline of your own life. You could probably write a book titled that, right?
Stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is such a powerful thought or powerful message. A lot of us do. That actually should be your memoir right there, right? Like living on the sideline of my own life. As a sports writer, there's so many analogies you can make there.
For sure.
But what a powerful message that you don't have to keep doing that you can reclaim your life. And it's going to be a journey, and it's taking you time. It's years that it takes to lose that kind of weight, but that's okay. Like your health now versus what it was, immeasurably different, right?
For sure.
And will continue to be so. And so you're reclaiming your life and your lifestyle. And what a powerful thing that you're no longer sitting on the sidelines of your own life. What a neat thing. So awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Jody. So again, Jody Genessy, Deseret News, and Jody Gennessy's blog. So you can just type that in, and I'm sure you'll find him. But Twitter, Facebook, all those things, look him up. We'll post those links down below as well.
Thank you.
Yep, awesome stuff. Thanks so much, Jody. Thanks again for tuning in to the Body Smart Podcast. Let us know if you've got any questions. Happy to answer them. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Body Smart Podcast. Join us in the Body Smart community on Facebook to share your successes or ask a question for our next episode. Now get out there and take the next step toward living your active lifestyle.